What is going on, everybody? I just want to make sure this is coming through. See if we can get this thing rolling here. Let's see here. All right. If you can hear me, if you can see me, drop a little note in the comments. Just want to make sure the audio is coming through well, and then we will get rolling here. Let's go. We might have to go live on the phone too, just to make sure that we are coming in loud and clear. All right, I see some people liking it, but let's go back into the group here. We might have to go live, which is totally fine. All right, give me 1 second, and we are going to go live in the Facebook group. And then we are going to talk about peptides. So hang out, and I got some goodies for you. So just don't go anywhere, because momentarily we are going to get started. Okay. And just make sure everybody can see me here. Okay. Cool. Just make sure we get live here. Oh, let's see. We might already be live. Sorry, y'all. We're just testing out some new live streaming software. In the comments, let me know where you're watching from. Just write where you're watching, just so I know that you can hear me. Once we get this right one time, it'll be fine. I just want to make sure here. Let's see. In the comments, let me know where you're watching. And then I promise we are going to jump into this. I promise we will get rolling. Let's see. All right. Well, if we can't get this thing rolling, we are just gonna have to roll with what we got. And the Facebook group, for some reason, is not participating. So let's see here. If you guys can see me in the Facebook group or hear me in the Facebook group, just leave a comment. If not, it's all good. We will post the video in there afterwards. I don't want to make you guys wait any longer, because we're already 3.5 minutes into this thing and we have not even jumped into anything valuable yet. So all good in the hood. All right. Cool. So the fat loss peptide training. All right. So today I want to talk to you guys about elite fat loss peptide protocols. Okay. And I do have a pretty in-depth breakdown of the peptides I'm going to talk about today that I will share with you all. If you want a copy, you can literally just email me, and you can email at Josiah at the True Transformation.com. Okay, if you want the guide, just email me there. All right. But I'm going to go through a bunch of info now, and we're going to rock and roll. So let's just get one thing really clear. These are just my personal peptide protocols. I'm not telling you to do this or tell you that you're medically cleared. Make sure you get clear with a doctor first, and make sure that your health is in check before you do this. The other thing I would say is these are not magical. Peptides, supplements, everything like that. I mean, peptides are way more powerful than supplements. Let's get that really clear. But peptides work with a really rock solid training and nutrition protocol. They're not going to replace poor nutrition, poor habits, laziness, zero activity. They're not going to do that. Okay. They're a performance enhancer. So in order to enhance your performance, you have to be performing. They're just going to help unlock extra capability that your body has that you may not be tapping into naturally. So let's talk about what I am doing. Okay. I have a 3-headed monster, as I call it, the 3-headed monster. Okay. So there's 3 things that are going to be working simultaneously. Okay. They're all going to be coming together, and we are looking for faster fat loss. Okay. And more energy. All right. You guys will have to excuse my awful handwriting. But the first one, okay, that we are going to be, that I'm doing, that I'm following. And if, by the way, if you want to know where to purchase peptides, you just email me, Josiah@thetruetransformation.com, and I'll send you a few people that I'm connected to that do a really good job and put out a really high quality product. But the first one that we are going to be adding to the stack is Retta. Okay. Retatrutide. It's a triple receptor agonist. Okay. It hits GLP-1, GIP, and glucagon receptors. The simple way to understand this is it's like having 3 fat burning mechanisms working simultaneously. Okay. GLP-1 activation helps crush your appetite a little bit. Retatrutide is not going to be, destroying your appetite, but it will help you minimize cravings. And so you'll naturally just eat a little less without feeling deprived. That's the goal. GIP activation improves insulin sensitivity and fat metabolism. That's where we start to get into the more advanced stuff with retatrutide. Okay. Glucagon activation directly increases energy expenditure and promotes fat breakdown. So there's some help inside the fat cell to break down that cell and use the fat for energy. So in practical terms, retatrutide, you'll feel satisfied on fewer calories. Your body becomes more efficient at burning fat for fuel, and your energy expenditure stays elevated even in a deficit. So most guys that I've worked with or coached in our coaching program who've used retatrutide feel fuller, satisfied on a little bit less calories. So like normally, if they're eating 2,500 calories, they feel pretty full around like 2,000 calories. So there's just some extra calorie deficit that takes place here. Food noise quiets down quite a bit. So they're naturally just going to have less obsession with food, and you'll be able to execute on your nutrition plan without having to white knuckle it or feel like you have to have this extraordinary amount of discipline. Okay. Good so far. Give me a like if this is making sense so far. Okay. So this is number 1. We're going to dig into dosages and all sorts of fun stuff too. Okay. MOTC, the mitochondrial optimizer. That's the next one. All right. So we got MOTS-C. Okay. So it's a mitochondrial derived peptide. Basically what it's doing is it's upgrading your cellular energy, and your mitochondria is where fat actually gets burned. And so MOTS-C helps mitochondria work more efficiently. It also can improve insulin sensitivity, which is great. It can also improve metabolic flexibility, which helps your body burn both carbs and fats. And it may at times improve endurance and work capacity. So it's a good one to take before you go do some cardio. So retatrutide is really helping, is helping you reduce how much you eat and increase fat breakdown. MOTS-C is making sure your cells can actually process and burn the fat more efficiently. It's like upgrading the engine, while retatrutide provides better fuel management. So what I've noticed and what other clients have noticed is energy levels are staying much higher, even in a calorie deficit. Training performance holds up better. So I take MOTS-C before I go do my high rocks workouts. You can push harder in the gym without feeling drained. Recovery definitely improves a bit. And so that's the second of the 3 that we are going to be introducing. Okay. Now the third one is tesamorelin. Okay. Tesamorelin is a recomposition agent. So tesamorelin is a growth hormone releasing peptide. It helps stimulate your pituitary gland to release more growth hormone, which has profound effects on body composition. So for those of you who are dealing with visceral fat, this can be a powerful addition to your program. And it can also help promote muscle preservation during fat loss phases, which is, once again, really important for metabolic health and just looking great. It can also improve sleep quality and recovery, and it can enhance skin quality and overall vitality. So it's a big one. All right. Now, this is the compound that's going to take you from like, wow, I'm leaning out a little bit to, whoa, are you stepping on stage type of leanness? Okay. It specifically attacks the visceral fat that can be in the abdominal region. So for those of you who struggle to lose belly fat, this can be a game changer. Plus it helps spare muscle. So holding on to muscle strength and whatnot while you shred fat, huge, huge deal. Okay. What I've noticed with people on tesamorelin is their midsection definitely leans down faster. And when you combine it with retatrutide and MOTS, it's like absolutely amazing. All right. So here's the game plan. We're going to, at least what I'm doing, all right, is I'm working with all three at the same time, but I'm going to be ramping this up. Okay. So my schedule looks something like this. So I have Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I take Retta all 3 days, micro dosing. Okay. I spread out my dose so that my hunger stays somewhat close to normal. It's not, getting thudded on Monday with this massive dose of Retta. What I'm doing with MOTS is on my High Rocks workout days, which are Monday. So I take MOTS here, and Friday, where I do a big High Rocks workout. I'm doing that. Okay. So right now, 2 days a week with MOTS. What I do with Tessa is every night. Let's do Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay. I do Tessa every night. Okay. Now, you don't have to do it every night. You could do 5 days a week. You could do 3 days a week if you really wanted to. You're just not going to get as much effect from it. But I do a tiny dose every night. Okay. So here's the synergy that we're looking for from these three. All right. So let's go here. So we have Retta. Okay. This is really here to help build up our deficit. Man, I cannot write with this iPad. Sorry. So deficit goes up while appetite comes down. Okay. And we also want fat breakdown to go up. Okay. So we want this to improve efficiency. Then we have MOTS. Okay. And basically want the fat to speed up. Okay. The mobilization. We'll just do mobile. Okay. So we're taking, oops, geez, what happened? All right. You guys are going to see all my pictures. So that's great. Oops. Okay. Here we go. Burp, 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 burp. All right. So we have the fat breakdown, and then MOTS helps things mobilize. And then basically Tessa is holding on the muscle. Okay. Muscle retention goes up. And then we're targeting, oh, wow. I was going to try to draw a stick figure, but I guess we'll do this. We're trying to target the visceral. Okay. So the visceral fat. Okay. So Tessa is the most expensive one of the three because it is very powerful. So what should you be experiencing with three of these peptides, right? So morning cardio, like if you go for walks in the morning, you should feel more energy with MOTS. I like to take it before a morning workout with my High Rocks workouts. Your reduced calories that you're on probably don't feel anywhere near as restrictive. Tesamorelin keeps growth hormone elevated, which muscle mass gets protected. Training performance stays strong despite the deficit that you're in with your calories. Your recovery also gets enhanced. And Chris, so it's all good, man. Really good question on where to get peptides. So email me, okay? Email. I don't like giving things out publicly because honestly, there's a lot that I want to share with you privately, to be honest. So Josiah@thetruetransformation.com. You can just email me. I work with a couple labs that are very, very, very reliable and safe. And they get their sourcing material from reputable areas. So I don't like giving out exactly where to do it because honestly, the pricing is so good that I don't want to jack up the price. But if you are serious about getting peptides, you can email me and I will give you the details on how to get it safely. We just had a client of ours start on some stuff this week from a doctor's recommendation, and the client goes out and gets the peptides from a cheaper and reliable source. So yeah, just email me if you want to know. Also, if you want my full elite peptide like breakdown of how to schedule your dosages, how to actually set up your diet alongside it so you get the most out of it, you can also email me. I will send you that guide. Just email Josiah at thetruetransformation.com and just be like, hey, peptides, I want the guide. Let me know where to buy peptides, that kind of stuff. Now, I just want to say this again, because this is like probably the most important thing. None of this stuff is going to work unless your routine, your systems are fully dialed in. I can't stress that enough. Okay. What does that look like? Well, let's talk about that. How do we dial in our fat loss? Well, here's what I would do. Okay. So 12 to 16 week protocol. Okay. A couple things I would say. Let's go here. A couple major things. Protein. I would get at least 1 gram per pound of goal body weight. Do not skimp on protein when you're taking peptides. Also, training wise, okay, 4 times per week with a focus on strength, okay? This is like the 4 to 10 rep range. All right. Nutrition. In terms of calories, I would do no less than 10 times goal body weight. Because here's the thing, it's going to be easy to be on low calories when you're on this stuff. All right. And you don't want to risk losing muscle tissue, using fuel that's not from food. Okay. Use the food, get enough calories. If you can eat a little more, cool. You might find it hard though to get that many calories. All right. You want to make sure you're getting plenty of carbs. I like to go a little lower fat on Retta, to be honest. So a little bit, so we'll do like a little higher in carbs. I know you're like, what? High carbs? Yep. High carbs. Lower fat diet. I don't go crazy low though. I'm not like, 0 fat diet or something stupid. My fat typically stays around like, sorry, my pen keeps going off. So like 55 to 70 grams of fat a day. For me, that's a little lower. For me, my carbs are like 180 to 200 grams a day. And then my protein's like 200 grams a day. Okay. That's what I eat right now. Now, if we want to go a little more aggressive, what I would do is cardio. Okay. So I would walk 10,000 steps. And then 2 to 3 times per week, I would do some high incline walking. Okay. I would do that. And you can experiment too with fasting. So I would do like a 24-hour fast 1 time per week, or I would do like a 48-hour 1 time every 2 weeks. Okay. Fasting is a whole topic on its own. But yeah, so questions that you have for peptides, feel free to email me. Chris, if anybody else has questions, you can drop them in the comments. I don't see anything else coming in right now. But so just to recap, this is the peptide protocol. Retta, Matsi, Tessa. This is my fat loss peptide protocol. There's a ton of peptides out there. These are the 3 that I use to shred, which I'm shredding right now. I'm going all out for our March live event, client event. The goal will be to, in the next 6 weeks, drop about 10 pounds of fat. And so I don't like to do long cuts. Okay. I don't like to do the drawn out, 20-week cuts. Some of you need to do that because you have more to lose. I need to lose like 10 pounds max. Like I don't want to lose more than that. I'm like 215 right now. I'll be like 205 for High Rocks in our live event. So I run peptides to help me because I just want to burn through some fat faster. I know how to do it. I could stretch it out. Sure. I could do it naturally. Yes. But then my hunger is going to be a little higher, and why not control it with some micro dosing of some pretty powerful peptides. Okay. If you have more questions for me or you want to talk about how we use them in our programming, we do not put every client on peptides. In fact, I have a handful of guys using it who are more advanced. If you're a client and you're like, how do I get my hands on this stuff? Let me know and I can point you in the right direction. All right. But this is not for like someone who's just starting, unless of course you have I would say the drive to just do everything from the jump. Then I'm not going to hold you back from that, but you got to have a system in place. Don't think that this stuff is going to replace all the movement, muscle, and meals that we need to have in our schedule. And you can do this with very minimal training and minimal work in terms of like the time on your schedule, but don't think you can get away with taking this stuff and not doing the stuff that actually gets 99% of the results, which is the nutrition, the training, and the movement. That's why having a sustainable plan is so vital to success. Okay. All right. I hope this helped. I want to kind of keep this as simple and as straightforward as possible. I don't want to bore you to tears with a long drawn out video. So if you have questions for me, please do not hesitate to reach out, comment on the video wherever you're watching, and or just email me, josiah@thetruetransformation.com, and happy to schedule a consult and help you get on the right path with all of your fitness transformational goals for this year. All right. Life moves fast. Make it count. Talk to you soon.